Okay. It's Free Leads Friday, is it not?
Yeah.
And
Really.
I'm going to revisit something. This is already the second time we're talking about this on Free Leads Friday here on the Wake Up Real Estate Show. But the reason why I'm bringing it back up is I was listening to some free training, a webinar earlier this week, and it reminded me that I wasn't even doing some of what I would call like Craigslist lead generation best practices. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is, number one, it illustrates that small hinges can swing big doors. And if you mess up a little thing in your marketing, it can mean the difference between no response and a lot of response, or no response and at least enough response that it's worthwhile to continue to pursue, right? And so I figured I would let me share. Whoops. Doggone it. There we go. Let me share this simple change that I've made to my Craigslist post. And then I thought I would post one. I would make a new post here. But I was making the mistake of putting the price in my Craigslist ads.
Huh.
I was putting the price. And,
Okay.
I was listening to somebody give kind of like his, 5 things to consider when you're, or his framework of posting on Craigslist to generate leads. And, he said, we don't put the price, or we put that it's $1. And it gives people a reason to then either call or text or go to the website URL to get. And the way I frame it in my post is to get up to the minute pricing, right? To get up to the minute pricing. And I don't know, it was just one of those things where it was like, duh, this is such a simple concept. And it's something that, it back in the buyer leads by tonight heyday, like we never, that was one of my best practices is don't put the price, right? Your marketing should generate enough curiosity that the right person is going to request more information, whatever the mechanism is for them to request more information. And the other thing that, light bulb went off, last week we were talking about Facebook Marketplace and Laura Stoddard's sort of best practices and principles. And when she posts the home, she puts $1, right? Because it's just another reason for someone to reach out and ask a question. Hey, and now some people may be annoyed. Some people may feel like you're doing that just to get them to respond. And the fact is you are, right? But it gives you the opportunity to have a conversation and determine 3 things. I mention this all the time. Can I help this person? How can I help this person, and when, right? So you're just trying to spark that conversation. So I'll show you the framework that I'm using. Let's just.
We're going to have some sandwiches?
Yeah, definitely some sandwiches. And maybe the sandwich isn't the best way to do it. And here's what I'm gonna test a number of different things. So this is not my listing. Okay, first and foremost, this is not my listing. This is another EXP agent's listing. And in Pennsylvania, we have carte blanche to promote one another's listings. In other words, we have office
at your company.
Authority. What's that, Ryan?
At your company.
Yeah, at EXP Realty, it's just an office acceptable policy that we all can promote one another's listing, because let's be honest, that's what's best for the actual client, right? So I point that out to mention that you may have that in your office and you may not even realize it. And if not, you can just go and find properties that you can get permission on, right? Find a way to make it work, which is a whole nother topic for another day. But anyway, this is not my listing. I use the KV Core Craigslist posting software to create this listing, I think yesterday morning, quite honestly. And then I added specific things to it. Okay. So the built-in platform with the KV Core Craigslist poster will put an image, it'll put the price, and it'll put some, it'll spin up some copy for the title and for the body. But then I've gone ahead and added in these additional calls to action. And I didn't even realize that I'm repeating a couple of things here. But you can see here that the call to action at the top is for up to the minute pricing, all photos and more info go to, and we've got the URL, which is just a short URL from KV Core, or text. And this is a smart code that I set up with KV Core that if they text that, it'll automatically send them additional information, and it captures them in my KV Core. I also have the call to action to request a private VIP tour. Text VIP to this number, which is the wrong number. Actually, I'm realizing now that it's 1453 when it should be 1452. So who knows? Maybe people are texting this person, and that person is very confused. I need to go in and edit that, which, by the way, I'll just go in and edit it right now so you can edit the posting. Now, the way I'm getting this, if you saw there were some things that were bolded. There were some things that were italicized, and I'm using some very simple, basic HTML code. And so what I will do for everyone who is interested is I'll add to the community page some of these example codes. Like
we'll put them in the post with this as a separate video training on the website. So
perfect. And so we'll give you those that you can copy and paste. Now you'll have to edit the actual, content, obviously, but at least you get an idea of how I'm doing some of those things to make it look different and so forth. And then, so I'm just going to make that change. I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now this one I also did something with is I grabbed the QR code for this URL. And I put that as an image, and I thought, I don't know.
So
QR codes, people are more actively scanning those. And what would be cool is if I could say, scan for more info. What you were chiming in there, Ryan?
Well, you can make a QR that does that, but on the image thing, I was making you one just now. I don't know a good way to get it to you, but maybe I'll just take the screen for a second.
Sure,
just for a second.
Yeah.
So. This is one of my favorite hacks is to put the short memorable URL in an image because they might be on phone. It might be hard to scan the QR. So you could just keep this on your computer somewhere, something like this, and just upload it with every post. And then they're scrolling through the pictures and they're like, what's 717 deals? It's easy to remember and they just go type it in.
Yep.
So
Tanya asked, if it's not your listing, how are you saying brought to you by Josh? KV Core automatically does that. I probably should tweak that or just remove that altogether. KV Core does that. If they go to the URL or they text and they get the information, it will say who the actual listing agent is. Actually, it'll say the listing brokerage, which is my brokerage. Well, I mean, it's not my, it's the brokerage that I'm with, right? So, the other thing is, and I'm going to throw this out publicly. I thought it'd be cool if we can build something where either we pop in the URL for a listing or we pop in the image, and it builds an image that has the image and the QR code that says scan here for all up to the minute pricing and photos. Something cool like that to make it easier and faster to implement. So I don't know.
You mean scan here to be notified when the price is reduced or something?
Oh yeah, something like that. Where basically here's what an image generator where you could put the image, the URL that you want the QR code to go to, and then what copy you want with it, and it spits out an image with the QR code top left or top right or whatever, and the copy like pointing at the scan. Anyway.
Yeah, that wouldn't be hard to build.
Not promising anything. I thought that would be cool.
Yeah, that I think we can do that.
Yeah, and so Soledad said, so for Craigslist, do you leave the price information blank or put $1? I'm trying both. I'm figuring out which works best. I'm trying both. And, I don't have an answer yet, but either one is better than putting the actual price. Because when you put the price, when you give people all of the information, here's the thing. This is an important principle in marketing in general. If you give people all the information, you're giving them reasons to cross it off the list. What you want is to create curiosity in your marketing so that they are interested enough to want more information, to be interested enough to want more information. And Lance, Guerrilla Realty folks had an image generator. They do. And I love Chris and Levi. They've got some really cool tools. And in fact, since you mentioned it, it was Chris's webinar that had me rethinking some of this. I was watching his replay. Their image generator, though, what it pops out is a text overlay where you can text, where you can put like a text call to action. which is awesome. But I was thinking it'd be cool to have it where we could have an image generator pop a QR code and that as well. Or you could even say, scan the QR code or text ... for up to the minute pricing and all photos, something along those lines. And I don't know, maybe we'll
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure out something cool like that. Now, so I'm curious. I know we have some folks on here that are generating leads with Craigslist. And actually, I emailed Laura this morning as well. And I don't know if Tom is on live here, but I'm curious, for anyone who is generating leads on Craigslist, do you have a sense of what is the way that they're responding the most? Like, which mechanism is generating you the most leads? And that's number one. And number two, is there a time of day that you're seeing the most activity, the most amount of folks responding? And what got me thinking along those lines is, number one, Laura last week, again, if you go back to episode 20, Free Leads Friday, last Friday, she is posting on Facebook Marketplace on Saturday mornings. And then she's just getting a whole bunch of people. So she posts at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and she gets a whole bunch of people there. And I know from generating, I've literally, now not for quite some time, I've literally generated thousands of leads on Craigslist and helped agents generate tens of thousands. And, so I have an idea, that it's most likely around lunchtime on lunch breaks. It's most likely after dinner. It's most likely Saturday morning. But I'm just curious if anybody has any more specific sort of hard, relevant, recent information or data on that. And then Bill, with a great question: how do you weed out those that are not qualified? That's the work, right? That's the work. And so one of the other things that is on my list that I wanted to share today was a text exchange. This perfectly, aligns with this question. This is a text exchange that I've been having on my personal cell phone with a lead that came in from the recently price reduced ad that we are running in my market. Okay, so we've got a Facebook lead ad going, offering recently price reduced recently price reduced homes here in Central PA. And Wednesday night, this lead came in on Wednesday. Wednesday night, I was running to grab my girls from gymnastics. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to call a couple of these leads that came in. One of them I got live. And I just followed my predictive prospecting script. So I was high energy. I was asking questions. It's he and his lady friend, as he called it. They both own a home, and they're thinking about combining. The issue or the objection is both of them have such low rates. They're trying to reconcile. Does it make sense, or just, make the best of what the situation they got? Okay. The other one, though, is this fella Oz. And I left him a voicemail. Okay. I left him a voicemail, and he texted me the next morning. So I'm just gonna read the exchange here. I'm not gonna show the text because it's got his phone number, but I'll just read the exchange. He texted me back at 11 a.m. yesterday morning. My apologies for not answering, but I'm at work. I'm looking for a property myself. Okay. Now, I think actually, now that I'm reading this, I think what happened is I left him a voicemail on my personal cell phone Thursday or Wednesday night. And then he probably also got a ringless voicemail from KV Core that morning. And that reminded him, and he texted me back. So my response was, right on. Is there a specific area or school district you're looking to be in? He said New Cumberland. I said, gotcha. Are you thinking single family or townhome? How many beds and baths? He said single family, 3 bed, at least 1.5 bath, and a garage is a must. Gotcha. Any idea what price range you're thinking? He said 200,000, give or take. Got it. Have you been working with any lenders yet to find the best special financing programs available for you? He said, not yet. My credit score is 150 or 750. 150 would be really low because you can't even have a 150. If you need to know. I said, terrific. We should have lots of great options for you for sure. How soon are you thinking about making a move? He said 3 months. I'm just looking at my best options. I know the house market price is insane right now. And I said, okay, makes sense. Would you like me to connect you with one of our mortgage team members to figure out which program is going to be the best fit for you, ? And then in parentheses, in our experience, that's your next best step. And he said, I would rather wait to see what's out there, right? Now, I could have pushed, right? I could have pushed and said, I could have really, hammered on him that, hey, we really got you pre-qualified. But I've learned from experience that is a surefire way to lose that client.
Yeah.
Period. So instead, I said, okay, no problem at all. I've set you up on a custom MLS search alert. And if or when you see any that you'd like more info on or to schedule a private VIP tour, just let me know. And now what I will do with Oz here is when I see him looking at properties, I'm going to follow up with the text script that I shared on Tuesday's Texting Tuesday, episode 22, and just reinvigorate the conversation. Because once he finds one that he's interested in, he's going to have to get pre-approved or pre-qualified, right? So, I'm going to take that for whatever it's worth, but I'm going to get him excited about the reason why he opted in the first place, right? The financing is just a necessary evil, let's say, or a means to an end. But what folks are excited about is the home they're going to buy, not the financing, right? So anyway, I thought I would share that, and I can share. What I'll do is I'll put that exchange together as an example of what those conversations can look like. I just didn't have time before this to do it in a way that doesn't show that this person's phone number, and I didn't want to be showing Oz's phone number here live. So that doesn't necessarily directly answer Bill's question, other than to say you've got to have a conversation, whether it's you or you're using our personal marketing assistants that will sift and sort out, or you can in part use technology, but in reality, at some point, it comes down to having an actual conversation exchange with folks.
Yeah.
And there's no way around that. Whether you're doing it with Facebook Marketplace and it's happening through Facebook Messenger chat, or it's happening through text, or it's happening through email, or you got them live on the phone, one way or another, that's just part of the deal, right? And whether it's you or you have an assistant, or you're using, like I said, our co-marketing, personal marketing assistants, like one way or another, that has to happen. There's kind of no way around it, though. Okay. Turn those into 2 rentals, pull out equity of them to buy the new one. Exactly. So, and I'll follow up. That fellow's name was Barry. I'll follow up with him. And this is a